Hello everyone. Today I'm again here with uh, uh, with the new essay. This is a real exam question, and it was asked in September 13th IELTS examination. I believe it was in the evening slot. So this question was difficult, I would say, but many of you would not know that why it was difficult and why you were not able to achieve the task. All right, so let's get straight into it. I'll let you know that why this topic was difficult and why the task of many of the students, all those tasks are not achieved. So let's read the topic. The question was, intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. To what extent do you agree? Or it could be, do you agree or disagree? Intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. So we have to write the entire essay taking into consideration a person who is a leader, not the general qualities or not any general human being. So the topic is, going to be surrounding a person who is a leader. And the question says that intelligence is the intelligence, and they're talking about intelligence, being intelligent. Intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. To what extent do you agree or disagree with the statement, or do you agree or disagree? So, some people believe that intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. Although there are a lot of qualities which are necessary for being a leader, intelligence is the most important. So, do you agree that yes, there are a lot of qualities which are needed, but intelligence is the most important? So, the word which made task achievement difficult for a lot of students was most. This word most. Most means it's most important. I mean, it is the topmost quality, although there are a lot of qualities, but this is the topmost quality. So you have to prove most. If you have not proved intelligence to be the most important quality, then you're not going to achieve your task. All right. So intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. To what extent do you agree? So let's give it a thought. Do you think that intelligence is the most important quality? So there are a lot of qualities which a leader should possess. Maybe good communication skills, good decision making ability, empathy, understanding, and all that stuff. Intelligence is one of those. But do you think that intelligence is the most important? I believe intelligence is the most important, so I agree with this statement. Well, right, and prove that yes, intelligence is the most important quality. So, see, to prove it to be the most important, I have to compare intelligence with all those qualities. And if I am able to compare and prove that intelligence is the topmost, then only I will be able to prove that intelligence is the most important quality, and then only my task will be achieved. All right, so we'll see. Introduction will be having two points basically. The first is going to be um, the question rephrase and then thesis statement. So leadership requires multiple qualities, yes, but intelligence is arguably the most important. A very beautiful line. So they're saying that yes, leadership requires a lot of qualities. For example, empathy, good communication skills, decision making abilities, and all that stuff. But intelligence is arguably the most important. So in the first line itself, I'm writing that there are a lot of qualities, but intelligence is arguably the most. So I have used this word to strengthen my opinion. With arguably the most important quality. This is just the rephrase. Intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader. So I have not, just written the same thing. In the first line, you have to rephrase. That means you have to rephrase. You should not be writing the entire line sentence as it is, but try to rephrase it. For example, instead of writing intelligence is the most important quality for being a leader, so I have started my sentence with leadership, not with the word leader, but leadership. So leadership requires most qualities, but intelligence is arguably the most important. So that's just my rephrase of the question statement. And now the second thing, as you remember, is in the introduction, the first is rephrase and the second is thesis statement. So I'm done with my rephrase and now I'm going to put a thesis statement. Thesis statement is this one. It enables leaders to solve complex problems effectively, number one, and enhances the impact of other essential traits, making it the foundation of strong and sustainable leadership. So the introduction will be having what? Introduction will be having question rephrase, question statement rephrase, and then thesis statement, and then main ideas of BP1 and BP2. I would encourage you adding main ideas in introduction also, because this will fetch you more marks. So instead of saying that I largely agree, I partially agree. So these are very, kind of vague statements, or I would say crammed statements. So try to avoid such statements if your aim is 7, 8 or more. If you just want to get 6.5, then yes, these statements are all good, all perfect. There's no harm in writing these ones. But these are a kind of crammed statements. So you can avoid these ones. Instead of, writing, I completely agree with this statement and the reasons associated are discussed ahead. I am not writing these ones. So I'm just saying that leadership is the most important quality, and I'm giving main ideas. Main idea of body paragraph 1, main idea of body paragraph 2. So thesis statement starts from here. It means leadership enables leaders to solve complex problems effectively. So the number one, the point which I'm going to discuss in my body paragraph 1 is this. It enables leaders to solve complex problems effectively. If a leader is intelligent, then only he is able to solve the complex problems effectively, unlike the leaders who are not intelligent. Second one, why I believe leadership is the most important quality is it enhances the impact of other essential traits. So leadership is most important because it enhances the impact of communication skills, decision-making ability, empathy, and all those qualities. That's why it comes at the top. So because it enhances the impact of other traits, that's why it is the most important. So in BP2, I'm going to explain this thing. So yes, leadership requires multiple qualities, but intelligence is arguably the most important. That's my question rephrase. And then it enables leaders to solve complex problems effectively and enhances the impact of other essential traits, making it the foundation of strong and sustainable leadership. So instead of saying that I completely agree, I partially agree, I have added some good words. Arguably means there is no doubt that I would partially agree or I will not agree at all. Arguably means I 100% agree. So that's a very strong word, and it is proving that I completely agree. And then this sentence is also making it very clear that I completely agree. So there is no need of writing this that I completely agree because of the various reasons. So instead of writing various reasons, just add those reasons. So it enables leaders to solve complex problems effectively, number one, and enhances the impact of other essential traits, number two, making it the foundation of strong and sustainable leadership. Because of these two things, this leadership is the foundation of strong and sustainable leadership. That's why I agree. There is no doubt that intelligence is most important quality for being a leader. Instead of writing arguably, you can, also use the words like undeniably, undoubtedly, this is beyond any doubt. All right, so this was all about our introduction. It is a very short and crisp, but very effective introduction. So compare your introduction with this one. All right, so here comes the BP1. In BP1, I will explain this thing, that intelligence is most important because it helps leaders to solve complex problems. And in the second one, I'll explain this one. And then this thing, body paragraph 1 will be having main idea, and then explanation, and then example, and then result, which is optional. This is most important. This will enhance your score in cohesion and coherence. That is the flow, that is the logical flow of the paragraph, of the ideas, that are ideas, strongly linked or not, or are they talking, something out of the box or out of the boundary, or maybe these are not the ones which are required. All right, so let's start with body paragraph 1 and straight to the point. The first line is going to be the main idea, that why I agree that leadership is the most important quality. So intelligence is indispensable when leaders face challenges that demand rational and long-term solutions. So intelligence is indispensable. So there is no doubt that this is not important. This is not most important. So intelligence is dispensable when leaders face challenges that demand rational and long-term solutions. That's why instead of repeating this thing to solve complex problems, I am writing leaders face challenges and complex problems. So these are synonyms. So I should not be repeating the things. So intelligence is the most important because intelligence is indispensable when leaders face challenges that demand rational and long-term solution. And now I'm going to explain this main idea. It means intelligence allows them to analyze risk. So these are the topic related, words. It means intelligence allows them to analyze risk, evaluate alternatives, and anticipate consequences, all of which are vital for sound decision making. So if they are intelligent, then they are able to face challenges, and then they will be able to have, good decision making ability. So that's why intelligence is the most important. But see, till now, I have not compared intelligence with any other traits. So as of now, my most word is not justified. Maybe somewhere in the next lines. So this was the main idea, and this is explanation, and let's move towards example. In example, we will be giving some specific details. For example, I have given Barack Obama and United States, and I will be linking this example with the main idea, and the main idea is leaders are able to face challenges. They are intelligent. So that's why intelligence is the most important quality. During 2008 global financial crisis, for example, Barack Obama, the President of United States, took intelligent and evidence-based decisions to stabilize the economy and restore public confidence. Had he not been intelligent, he would not have been able to do this. Because he was intelligent, that's why he was able to stabilize the economy and restore public confidence. So I am linking this example with the main idea, that is, he faced the challenges, and because of his intelligence, he was able to stabilize the economy. Had he not been intelligent, he would not have been able to do all that stuff. Still, the most word is not proved. Most word can only be proved using a contrasting connector. Maybe although dash and dash are important, comma, intelligence is most important because of dash. Or while dash and dash are important, comma, intelligence is the most important. So if you have to prove the word most, you will have to use contrasting connectors. So it's a very important point. Most. How to prove most? Most can be proved using a sentence, although 1 comma 2. It can also be proved using a sentence while 1 comma 2. It can also be proved using despite 1 comma 2 and in spite of. Otherwise, you can also use nevertheless, however, nonetheless to prove that intelligence is the most important. Let's see what's written. Although empathy and charisma can inspire loyalty, they cannot replace the logical problem solving ability that intelligence provides. So now I'm comparing intelligence with other two traits, empathy and charisma. Because I'm able to compare intelligence with empathy and charisma, that means I have proved this word most. That means my task is getting achieved. Understand this point very carefully. So this line is very important. Although empathy and charisma can inspire loyalty, they cannot replace the logical problem solving ability intelligence provides. That's why intelligence is the most important. So see, there are just 6-7 lines, but they are very logically written, and no line is written like without any kind of what we say logic. So these all are logically connected. So in this one, I have proved that intelligence is the most important. Similarly, in the second one, I'll prove intelligence is the most important by giving the main idea, explanation, example, and result is optional. And then in this as well, I have to compare. I've compared it using the word in contrast. You can also, use instead of in contrast, you can use however. Let me write. However, nevertheless, nonetheless, and all that stuff. So here I have, added one line which is proving that intelligence is the most important, and how the intelligence will be proved to be most important if I am able to compare other two essential traits with intelligence, and I'm able to prove that it is the topmost. So here I am, in the previous one, I was comparing intelligence with empathy and charisma, and here I am comparing intelligence with charm and empathy. You can also compare it with communication skills. Let's see. And the body paragraph 2 will again be having main idea, explanation, example, and then result. And you have to prove most here by using a contrasting connector, comparing with the traits. All right. Moreover, intelligence strengthens other leadership attributes. So that's my main idea. That's it. Intelligence is most important because it strengthens other leadership attributes. Other leadership attributes, example, communication skills, charm, empathy, decision making, and all that stuff. So because intelligence strengthens other things, that's why intelligence is most important. So in the main idea itself, I have proved that because it strengthens other things, that's why it is most important. And then I have also justified it further by adding a contrasting thing and saying that these ones are not able to compete with leadership, compete with intelligence. So this is the main idea. Intelligence strengthens other leadership qualities. That's why it is most important. And after main idea, what will come is explanation and then example. So explanation. Communication skills. I have compared it here itself to prove it to be most important. Let's see how. Communication skills number 1, and emotional intelligence, number two, are valuable. So there is no doubt that these are valuable. To be a leader, you know, there should definitely be good communication skills and emotional intelligence. So they are valuable, but they achieve their full potential only when guided by intellect. And guided by intellect means if a person is intelligent, then only these will make sense. If a person is not intelligent, then even if he's having good communication skills and emotional intelligence, then these are of no use, because that person, that leader, won't be able to use these ones. That's why I have used this but sentence, and I have shown that intelligence is most important quality because others are strengthened with the help of intelligence. So this was my main idea. And now explanation, I'm explaining this thing only. Explanation should be explaining the main idea. Main idea is strengthening other leadership qualities. So communication skills and emotional intelligence are valuable, there is no doubt, but they achieve their full potential only when guided by intellect. That's why intelligence is most important. So from starting point itself, I am comparing intelligence with others, and I am proving it to be the most important. Smart leaders can tailor their messages to diverse audience and interpret emotions strategically, turning inspiration into measurable progress. Again, this is a very good sentence, which is a part of the main idea, which is a part of this explanation, but it's explaining the main idea. It's explaining the communication thing, that smart leaders can tailor their messages to diverse audience. It's not like if a person is good, if a person is a good orator, then he probably, if not intelligent, is going to deliver the same message to the diverse audience. However, if he's intelligent, then he is able to tailor the message according to the audience. That's why he is going to be a good leader, a great leader. So main idea explanation, and then we are going to give example to strengthen it. For example, Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, demonstrates how intelligent and emotionally aware approach can transform an organization's culture while driving innovation and profitability. So here we are going to give specific examples. For example, I have taken the example of Satya Nadella, and I have proved that intelligence is most important. But I am proving intelligence is most important again by giving the contrast in the form of result. However, or in contrast, leaders who rely solely on charm or empathy. So I'm comparing intelligence with other traits, charm and empathy. Leaders who rely solely on charm or empathy often achieve only short-lived success. So they are not going to be great leaders because they are able to achieve only short-lived success because they are not intelligent. They are not having any kind of strategic insight. That's why I have proved that it is the most important quality. Each and every line of this body paragraph is proving that intelligence is most important. Main idea, explanation, example, and result. In the result, I have tried to prove the word most by adding a contrasting thing, and in BP1 as well. So instead of giving resultantly this, so I have added a sentence although to prove that its intelligence is the most important. So body para 1, body para 2, and in conclusion, what we will do, we will just give the summary of both the body paragraphs. I mean the main ideas of both the paragraphs and proving it to be most important. In conclusion, so here I have used nevertheless, here I have used although, and I have used some additional clauses. What are additional clauses? Additional clauses are these ones, using commas and writing the things. These are additional clauses. You also should, add some additional clauses. Like instead of starting the sentence with for example, you keep for example in between commas. So this is additional clause. So instead of saying for example, blah 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 blah, you should write blah 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 blah, for example. So that's called an additional clause. So you are adding an additional thing inside. So that also. So I've added additional clause here. So I'm saying that I have used a good range of grammatical sentences and good range of topic related vocabulary as well. See, uh, topic related vocabulary: leadership, intelligence, complex problems, essential traits, strong and sustainable leadership, face challenges. So these are all the words which are related to topic: rational and long-term solutions, analyze risk, evaluate alternatives, anticipate consequences, sound decision making. So these all count, will be given marks for this one under topic related vocabulary. Just try to, pinpoint all those words which will count as your topic related words. In BP2 as well, there are a lot. Let's wind this up with a conclusion. So, in conclusion, while leadership is multifaceted, yes, there are a lot of traits which are required, but while has two opposite sentences, right? So, this is the one, while 1, comma 2. We used this while in yesterday's task 2 as well. So, try to learn these ones. While 1, comma 2. While 1, comma 2. So, while contains two opposite sentences. Two opposite sentences are maybe, strengthening the other one. The second one and the first one. So there is a contrast. So while leadership is multifaceted, intelligence remains the most crucial. So in conclusion, I'm saying that it is most crucial because of these two main ideas, which I'm going to give. It ensures effective problem solving, main idea 1 of PP1. It also amplifies or strengthens the influence of other strengths. So this is the main idea. So because of these two reasons, I believe that intelligence is the most crucial, and I have proved intelligence to be the most crucial by adding the contrasting things, by comparing intelligence with other traits. That means my word most is proved very clearly. So I'm able to achieve the task properly. I am able to follow the cohesion and coherence thing because my paragraphs are flowing very effectively. And then topic related vocabulary, and then grammatical range,